Whether you operate one forklift or thousands, one location or hundreds, the new My Toyota customer portal can help you optimize your operation and material handling equipment. This one-stop, free-to-use platform is designed to help you take control of your information and make smarter decisions, all at the touch of a button. Register and access your data today at my.toyotaforklift.com. That's my.toyotaforklift.com.
Starting March 9th, your supply chain possibilities are endless. At MODEX 2020, you'll find 950 plus exhibits and 150 plus education sessions tailored to help you discover equipment and system solutions for your material handling and supply chain needs. With keynotes, networking, education, and product booths, MODEX is where manufacturing and supply chain innovation comes to life. Visit MODEXshow.com today and join us March 9th to March 12th, 2020 at Georgia World Congress Center in Atlanta. Register today at MODEXshow.com.
The New Warehouse Podcast, hosted by Kevin Lawton, is your source for insights and ideas from the distribution, transportation, and logistics industry. A new episode every Monday morning brings you the latest from industry experts and thought leaders. And now, here's Kevin.
Hi, and welcome to the New Warehouse Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Lawton. And this week we have an episode. We've been getting excited because MODEX 2020 is coming up this March. You see that we've been promoting that on the website and also on some of the podcasts with some of the guests that we've had that are going to be attending. And, of course, through our email as well. If you're not signed up for our email, head to thenewwarehouse.com and you can do that there. Also, we are going to have our own booth there on the floor, so we'll be podcasting right from the floor. So today on the show, I have Greg Baer, who is from MHI. He's the director of sales there. And he's going to talk to us about, he's going to tell us a little bit about MHI, because MHI powers MODEX. And then, of course, he's going to tell us about MODEX and what to expect this year and all the details you need to know. So, Greg, welcome to the show. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Yeah, happy to have you. We are very excited about MODEX, so interested to hear about what's to come this year and get that word out to all the listeners as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with MHI?
Yeah, so I've been with MHI since 2005. It started out after college in outside sales, and we had our first child. I was down in Miami and used to exhibit in trade shows. Never thought I would be selling trade show space and promoting events like MODEX and our ProMat show, but the opportunity opened up in late 2004, and I'm from North Carolina, which is where MHI is headquartered, so it was a great opportunity to get back to closer to home, to friends and family, and work for a great organization. So have been here again since 2005, and we've gone through this new transition into MODEX, which started back in 2012.
Okay.
And have been excited about it and excited to watch it grow.
All right. Awesome. And for those that don't know, I guess MODEX is every other year and then ProMat's in between, correct?
Correct. So we produce one show a year for the industry. MODEX falls on the even years.
Okay.
And ProMat alternates with MODEX on the odd years, and it's up in Chicago.
Right. And we were there back in April, and that's actually when we first started the show, just a month before that. So we're happy to be continuing the relationship with you guys and attending MODEX as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about MHI and what MHI does, because MHI obviously is more than just this organization that produces these trade shows, right?
Yeah, MHI has been around for 75 years now. We started up in Pittsburgh and moved down to the Carolinas in late 70s, early 80s. We are most known for our trade shows. They're really the most forward-facing product that we put out there.
Right.
ProMat will have around 1,000 exhibitors and 50,000 attendees, and MODEX will have over 950 exhibitors and 40,000 attendees. Mm-hmm. But within MHI, we have several different departments. We have an education department that's involved in career and technical education to provide high schools and community colleges and technical schools with curriculum and even equipment to train the next generation of people coming in to work in the warehouse.
Okay.
We manage a group called KICME, which is the acronym for College Industry Council of Material Handling Engineering, which is a university program. We have a robust membership group that is involved in over 18 different industry vertical groups, from rack manufacturers to robotics, and those groups are tasked with managing standards, safety, all kinds of things. Each group kind of has its own leadership, and the MHI is the umbrella group that manages those groups. We have spring conferences and an annual conference that brings end users together with our members to, again, for the betterment of the industry. And then we also offer reporting. We offer quarterly forecasting. So we're kind of the go-to resource for material handling, warehousing, distribution, logistics, and supply chain, and are working hard to continue to produce content and offer the industry a place to find what they need.
Definitely. And you guys cover a lot of ground, and I think it's really good what you guys do. Now, will you have MHI obviously will have a presence at MODEX, but is there an opportunity for people that maybe are just hearing this and, or maybe have heard of MHI but are not quite sure what MHI is all about besides the trade shows? Is there an opportunity at MODEX for people to attend and learn more about MHI and getting involved outside of the trade show?
Yeah, MHI will have a membership booth.
Okay.
That booth number is 4071. It's near our backyard area on the show floor, which is where we're going to have food trucks and games and kind of an oasis for attendees. It'll be staffed by MHI staff for the duration of the show. So if there's questions about MHI programming or members or just general information about the association, we will have a representative on site during the show to answer those questions.
Okay, great. I think that's good to know. So now I guess let's get into it because we're talking about MODEX, right? So MODEX 2020. Why don't you give us all the details? When is it? Where is it? Who's going to be there? What's new? What's to expect? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we are really excited about MODEX 2020. Briefly, just to give you a short history on it, I had mentioned that 2012 was the first iteration of the show. Prior to that, we held an event in Cleveland, Ohio, and before that, Detroit, known as the North American Material Handling Show.
Okay.
And the last one was in 2010. Everybody remembers the economy was not very good that year.
Right.
We maxed out with about 450 exhibitors in Cleveland, and at that point, we kind of decided, because of the attendees we were seeing at our show, we were starting to see a lot of supply chain titles trickle into our demographic in the audience.
Okay.
Which was kind of a new title. We were traditionally warehousing, distribution, manufacturing, assembly titles. So we did some research. We were looking at the Panama Canal expansion, and we looked at Atlanta, Las Vegas, and Orlando as opportunities to position the show. Mm-hmm. And we ultimately decided on Atlanta. One of the reasons is the state of Georgia, the city of Atlanta, they were investing a lot into supply chain, into the intermodal, the inland ports. They were looking at that as a growth opportunity for the state, for their economy. Definitely. So it kind of lined up with what we were looking to do with MODEX. So 2012, we kicked off our show. We had around 540 exhibitors for that first go-around, which was a success for a new show. And coming into 2020, as I mentioned, we're going to have about 950 exhibitors. So the rate of growth of the show exceeds just about every metric that's out there in the trade show industry. So MODEX 2020 will come around March 9th through the 12th.
Okay.
It will be back in Atlanta at the World Congress Center. Fortunately for us, the World Congress Center is going through a remodel. They're going to be combining the B and C halls to make one large show floor, which allowed us to grow. We were almost maxed out the last time around, so this gave us some extra square footage. So yeah, the 9th through the 12th, it's a Monday through a Thursday. The first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the hours are 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
And Thursday, it's 10 a.m. till 3 o'clock. And then the show will end at 3. Right. As far as content goes, we've got some pretty good content. We've got keynote sessions that open the show every day, and then we have over 150 on-floor seminars. Our keynote lineup this year ranges from Nikki Haley, the former U.S. ambassador to the UN, and also the former governor of South Carolina. She's kicking things off on March 9th.
All right.
We have a Tan Lee, who's the founder and CEO of MODEX. Mm-hmm. She is going to kind of give a talk on future and what you should think about the future. That'll be on Tuesday morning prior to the show opening. And then we have we always do our industry report with our CEO, and it's kind of a panel discussion that's moderated by a moderator who will ask questions and kind of give a state of the industry report on Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday afternoon, there's going to be kind of a fireside chat with Archie and Peyton Manning, who I think if you're into sports, you know who those two gentlemen are.
Yes,
they're going to sit down and talk about they're going to sit down and have a chat and answer questions and kind of be the afternoon keynote, which will then lead into our industry night event, which is Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. It's our opportunity to kind of bring the industry together. We have food, drinks. We have a comedian that's going to be there. We have the Innovation Award winners are announced. There's some different awards that are announced on that evening as well. So it's just a good opportunity for networking, for people to kind of let their hair down a little bit, have some drinks and some food, and get together before the show closes on Thursday.
Okay. Sounds like quite the lineup. So, and then the comedian, I think, is Hassan Minhaj, right?
That's correct.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of stuff to come out for. And now, so what about in terms of exhibits as well? So why don't you talk a little bit about, you have ProMat and you have MODEX. So maybe people that have never been to MODEX but have gone to ProMat, why would they want to go to MODEX too? What's the difference?
We'll be back after a quick break.
You hear a lot about supply chains these days because if the past couple years have taught us anything, it's that an efficient, well-managed supply chain is absolutely critical to keeping businesses successful and consumers happy. I'm Will Haywood, and I host a podcast called All Business, No Boundaries, where we talk about supply chains, how they work, what happens when they don't, and the innovations that are redefining what's possible in the world of logistics. Join me for insightful interviews with thought leaders and industry experts. We discuss how optimizing supply chains can break down the barriers that are holding businesses back. That's All Business, No Boundaries by DHL Supply Chain. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, the main difference in the two shows, if you look at them in their entirety, ProMat, you can kind of, I guess, best explain by the solutions that you're going to see there are solutions that are going to move, protect, store product within the four walls of a warehouse, distribution center, e-com fulfillment center, manufacturing assembly facility. That's kind of the meat and potatoes of that show. MODEX is kind of an expansion of that. So if you look at the show floors next to each other, you're going to see 90% of the exhibitors are about the same. Mm-hmm. But there's a component to MODEX that makes it different, and that's the external supply chain component.
Got it.
So MODEX will feature a transportation and logistics pavilion that is going to feature educational sessions and exhibitors that are taking your product from the loading dock to the consumer's doorstep or to the store, wherever that next destination is going to be. So it's a warehousing distribution show plus the transportation, logistics, supply chain component as well that's getting the product from the manufacturer or the warehouse to the customer. So that's basically the main differentiation between the two shows. Okay, is the expanded transportation area of MODEX.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I was at ProMed, and there's so many different things going on, and adding that transportation component too, I think makes it a really complete show. So really excited to see what everybody has to exhibit, and then obviously see the transportation component too. Why don't you tell everybody? I think you missed one big thing. How much does it cost to attend MODEX?
So MODEX is actually free to attend. All the keynotes are complimentary. The 150 plus on-floor sessions are complimentary. It's free to walk the show floor. Yep. The one event that does cost is actually there's two events. The Women in Supply Chain event, which is on March the 9th. Okay. It's $100 to attend that. And the Industry Night event, there's a $50 charge to attend that. Outside of those two deals, it's complimentary. The Industry Night event, there is one opportunity there. We do a raffle. So if you're a $50 entry, we do a $30,000 giveaway for a trip of a lifetime.
Oh, wow.
It's a pretty big deal. So we raffle that off to somebody that's in attendance at the event, and the winner gets to go anywhere in the world and utilize that $30,000 to take a trip. So
wow, that's pretty great.
Yeah. So if you're not interested in the comedy show or seeing who won the awards, it's an opportunity to treat yourself to a pretty nice vacation.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Yeah. So I think free. I mean, I want to emphasize that because I think that's a big deal. I mean, there's so many other trade shows that I know of, especially like in the supply chain world, that are far from free. So I think free is a big deal. And I mean, if you're in the area, I would say why not attend to see what's going on in your industry.
Yeah, and if you take a look at to your point, if you take a look at our exhibitor list and the educational content, the companies that are on our show floor and the companies that are presenting are literally the leaders of the future of supply chains.
Yeah.
They are the reason why my son, when I order him a book, he wants it tomorrow morning if I order it tonight. And the companies that are on our show floor are the companies that are picking that book, putting it into a box that's custom fit to the size of that product and getting it to your doorstep, before your kids throw a temper tantrum. It's truly amazing to see the technology that's coming to our show. As I mentioned in the beginning, I started in 2005, and there was very little change at our show from year to year. A fork truck would come out with maybe a new battery or a new way to new fuel technology.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's conveyors and robotics would come into the shows, but with the advancements of AI, the software that's on the show floor, some of the robotics that are on the show floor, the fork trucks that are being converted into autonomous vehicles. It truly is mind blowing. Our shows I walk about 60 trade shows a year around the world, and our shows are showing some of the most interesting and exciting technologies that are out there now, and it's just really neat to be a part of. So it's an exciting event. There's a lot of moving equipment. If you're considering purchasing an AMR, there's probably 30 companies on the show floor that are going to be demonstrating AMRs and how they interact with workers. And it's just really a cool time to be in this industry.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that's a really good point because, like you said, back then technology was kind of not moving so fast in our industry, but now I think it's moving so rapidly that I think it's, if you work in the industry, I think it's, even if you're not going with consideration of looking to purchase something, just to get an idea of what's happening and what's to come, I think it's only going to put the attendee at an advantage in the future, because at some point they're going to come across some type of this technology in their workplace, and just to familiarize yourself and be aware of what's out there, I think is a big thing. Because even some things like I hear about and I'm still kind of like surprised, like, oh, that's like really happening, like that's really a thing, like that's awesome. So to be able to see it and stuff actually moving and stuff is great too.
Yeah, I like to use the term or the phrase "art of the possible." It's kind of what our show is. It allows the attendee to come in and talk to the people that are leading this technology and to sit down with them and say, okay, you've got this robot that can run through the woods. How's it going to apply to my warehouse?
Right.
Is this realistic? Is there ROI to this?
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are behind the technology are going to sit there and tell you the truth about it. And, it's like I said, it's just it's really neat to see the ideas that are coming out of this industry. Some of the brightest people that I've ever met are part of this industry now, and it's just a great time and a great time to be a part of this show in the industry.
Definitely. So now that we've told everybody all the great things about MODEX and they're convinced that they're going to attend and go, what would you tell them, or people that are attending? How should they prepare to attend? Because it's like you said, there's 950 exhibitors, right? So it's a lot of ground to cover. So how would you tell somebody that's going to attend how to prepare and how to kind of hit the places they want to hit, and what's really out there to help them do that?
The first thing I'd say is wear comfortable shoes. It's a big show floor. It's a lot of walking. Carol Miller, our VP of marketing, her and her team have done a fantastic job to give our attendees the tools necessary to come to our show informed and with an agenda. So if you have time poverty and you need to come in and spend just one day on the show floor, our website, you can go in and build your agendas. You can use our app. We have a very robust app that you can utilize to map the show and to give you routes, how to get to A and B. The fastest or shortest way, however you choose to walk it. Definitely hit up. You want to look at our theater content. There's a ton of educational content on the show floor. A lot of it is going on at the same time. We're featuring an IoT theater. We're featuring an emerging tech theater. We're featuring a sustainability theater. There's a transportation and logistics theater, and then we have 7 other on-floor theaters that are going to be hosting content. So make sure you look at all the educational content and build that into your trip. The Innovation Award is something that a lot of attendees are starting to take notice of. I've been managing that program now. This will be our 9th go-around. This is an opportunity for exhibitors to feature their new and innovative products. So if you're an attendee that's coming to see the new stuff, searching the Innovation Award, there's 155 entries this year.
Oh, wow.
You can narrow down your search and your agenda to just those companies if you want to see all the brand new products that they're featuring. Definitely visit the website, download the app, and make sure you come to the show with some type of plan. I would suggest spending 2 days there myself. It's there's plenty to see, and 2 days will go by pretty quickly. But utilize the tools we offer on our website to plan your day and take advantage of your time being there, because there is a lot of stuff going on, and like I said, with the robotics, also with the fork trucks and the people that are making ASR systems, they've got full systems set up and running. As you probably saw at ProMat,
definitely. Yeah.
There's full racks set up with carts that are picking pallets and picking product. Make sure you make time to see those exhibits and take it all in.
Definitely. And I would say for ProMat, when I was using the app, it was super helpful. So I would definitely recommend too, and echo what you said about downloading the MODEX app, and we'll put information about that on the newwarehouse.com as well, where you can download that and all those kinds of links. So what about in terms of, so that's for like an attendee. So what about somebody that's maybe a first-time exhibitor? So if an exhibitor is reading this, or not reading this, but listening to this, if they're first time exhibiting at MODEX, what would you tell them? How could they get the most, I guess, out of the experience?
Yeah. So as an exhibitor, MHI, we invest about $40,000 a year in an exhibitor education program. I've got 2 products that I offer that are complementary to our exhibitors.
Okay.
One is called Show Pro. Show Pro, normally we do a live event, but I had a bunch of international travel last year, and unfortunately we couldn't find a date that worked, but it's between ShowPro Live and our webinar series, which we're hosting for MODEX. I bring in trade show consultants that educate our exhibitors on how to maximize ROI before the show, during the show, and after the show. One mistake a lot of my exhibitors make is they view trade shows as a 4-day event, and they're literally an opportunity to have a 5-month marketing program that is multi-pronged. You can use electronic, you can use mail pieces, you have your face-to-face contact. So being prepared before the show, again, there's a lot of exhibitors. You want to make sure you stand out. You want to make sure you're on the agenda of the attendees. So don't view it as a 4-day event. View it as a 3 to 6 month marketing project. So ShowPro is an opportunity to help you educate yourself. If you've never done a trade show before, it's a great tool. On the MODEXshow.com website, I have a link to ShowPro. You can go in there and download all the archived webinars. I also offer a program that's complimentary, which is called the Exhibitor Onboarding Program.
Okay.
This is a little bit more robust than ShowPro. So there's webinars. There are tools to plug and play budget tools. So if you've never done a trade show, you can go in and plug in every single expense that you think you're going to have, and it'll give you ROI down to the penny that you can report back. There's agenda planners, marketing planners that are built into that tool as well. So it's just it's a lot of content. It's a lot of, there's articles, there's again, tools and webinars that you can listen to really maximize your ROI and your time on the show floor. MHI, because we're a nonprofit, member governed trade association, we view our trade shows and our relationships with our exhibitors a little bit different. We view ourselves as partners to the exhibitor. Okay. We are in the boat with them on the show floor, so we try to make sure they have every opportunity to really maximize their 4 days at the show. And investing in these programs like ShowPro and the onboarding program are two of the opportunities that we offer to help them do that. As far as the preparing for the show itself, outside of those educational opportunities, the early discount for your materials like your carpet, your tables, your chairs, that's coming up in February. You want to make sure you get everything ordered ahead of time so you can save money on that. Okay. Do not delay, plan ahead. You want to make sure you get all that stuff done. You don't want to be ordering carpet on site because you're going to pay 3 times the amount you pay if you order it now. Oh, wow. Reach out to your prospects, invite them to the show. Again, a show our size, it's very important that attendees know you're there. So do everything you can to get the word out that you are going to be on the show floor and exhibiting. And if you have a new product, make sure you're bragging about it. The number one reason attendees came to MODEX in 2018 was to see new products.
Yeah.
That was from exhibit survey research. That's what they told us. So if you have something new, brag about it. And then make sure that you lean on MHI. As I mentioned, we view ourselves as a partner to our exhibitors. Myself and my staff and our marketing team, we are here to help you as much as we can. We are on site beginning Wednesday for show setup, and we're there through the end of the show. We make ourselves available to everybody that's on that show floor. So make sure you reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns leading up to the show.
All right, great. Yeah, and I'll say I'm an exhibitor this year. So booth 4194. I'll get that little plug in there. But I will say, I'm seeing all the stuff that you guys are doing for exhibitors, and I think it's great. And like you said, it really, and you guys start early too, so it really kind of walks you through all the things that you can do in terms of marketing beforehand and not just like at the event. And I think that's a big thing because even as, attending ProMat last year, as an attendee, you see the booths that are kind of dead, right? And there's not so many people around them. And I think, having some buzz about your booth and having people there, it naturally draws other people in because they want to see what's everybody looking at, right? So, so I think a really good point that you have there, Greg. So anything else that we should know about MODEX coming up?
Really just enjoy it. It's an opportunity to meet, if you're an attendee, it's an opportunity to meet some of the leaders in this industry. If you're an exhibitor, it's an opportunity to meet people that are changing our lives as consumers.
Yeah.
It's kind of the confluence of those, groups of people that just blow my mind. The retailers that are leading the way and getting product to us, and our customers and our members and our exhibitors that are providing the solutions to allow them to keep pushing the boundaries on supply chains and changing how we get product. And it's an opportunity to have fun. It's a trade show. Enjoy it and take it all in. Don't shortchange yourself by only walking a portion of the show. I try and tell our staff that before the show every year, take an opportunity to get out and walk every aisle and see what the excitement's about. So that's kind of the piece of advice I always give, just when you're there, take advantage of it, because it's once a year, and next year, the way our industry is moving, it's going to be totally different in 2021 from what you see this year.
Definitely.
So yeah.
All right.
We just appreciate everybody being a part of it.
Definitely. So, and where can people go to find out more about MODEX? What's the website?
So you can go to modexshow.com, which is MODEXSHOW.com. You can find the full agenda, all the educational content, the innovation awards, the registration page, everything you need for the show is at that website. And then MHI.org is our association website. We have a ton of information there. You can also find links to both MODEX and ProMat through that website as well. So look forward to seeing you in Atlanta. We are super excited about it. It's the Super Bowl of our industry. I can't wait. I love the trade show business, and I love our show, and I'm super excited for the exhibitors and the attendees to see what we have in store.
Definitely. I'm excited too. And hopefully we'll connect down there, Greg. So thanks so much for being on the show. And I'll post all the information about MODEX and how to download the app and how to get to the website, all those different things on thenewwarehouse.com for listeners' reference. And thank you again, Greg. Have a good one.
You've been listening to the New Warehouse Podcast with Kevin Lawton. Subscribe and check us out online at thenewwarehouse.com.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you want more content from the New Warehouse, check out our new video series called All Hands on LinkedIn. Just search for the New Warehouse on LinkedIn and follow along.